You wake up one morning feeling not quite right. You're not sick, not yet, but something is different. A heaviness you can't explain. A subtle shift in how your body feels. What if this sensation isn't random? What if your body has been trying to tell you something? Hours, sometimes even days, before you actually feel unwell. We often think of illness as something that arrives suddenly, a switch that flips from healthy to sick. But the reality is far more gradual and far more fascinating. Your body is a remarkably sophisticated system of detection and communication. Long before a virus fully takes hold, before bacteria multiply enough to cause obvious symptoms, your internal surveillance network is already responding. And in many cases, it sends signals to your conscious mind, subtle cues that something is happening beneath the surface. These early signals are easy to dismiss. We attribute them to poor sleep, stress, or simply having an off day. But learning to recognize these quiet communications may help us better understand and support our own well-being. This is the language your body speaks before symptoms fully arrive. To understand why you might feel different before becoming noticeably ill, we need to look at what's happening inside, at the cellular level. When your body detects a potential threat, whether it's a virus, bacteria, or other foreign agent, your immune system doesn't wait for instructions. It begins responding almost immediately. Specialized cells called macrophages and dendritic cells identify the intruder and release chemical messengers known as cytokines. Now, cytokines are essential for coordinating your immune response. But they do something else too. They communicate with your brain. When cytokines reach the hypothalamus, a small but powerful region deep in your brain, they trigger what researchers sometimes call sickness behavior. This isn't a malfunction. It's an adaptive response, believed to have evolved to help your body conserve energy and prioritize healing. This is why, even before you develop a fever or a cough, you might feel unusually tired, less interested in food, or withdrawn from social activity. Your body is already shifting resources, preparing for the possibility of a fight. There's also communication happening through the vagus nerve, a major pathway connecting your gut, heart, and brain. Research suggests this nerve may carry early immune signals to the central nervous system, contributing to that vague sense that something is off. In other words, the discomfort you feel isn't the illness itself. It's your body's early-stage response to it. A kind of internal preparation that, remarkably, you can sometimes sense. So what might these early signals actually feel like? While everyone's body is different, research and clinical observation have identified several common patterns that may occur in the hours or days before more obvious symptoms develop. 1. Unexplained fatigue. This is perhaps the most commonly reported early signal. You slept enough. You didn't overexert yourself, and yet your body feels heavy, as though simple tasks require more effort than usual. This type of fatigue may be linked to the immune system redirecting energy away from daily activities and toward internal defense processes. It's not laziness, it's resource allocation. 2. Subtle changes in appetite. You might notice food seems less appealing, or that your usual cravings have shifted. Some people report a mildly metallic taste, while others simply feel less hungry. This too may be connected to cytokine activity, which can influence the brain's appetite centers. From an evolutionary perspective, reduced appetite during early infection may have helped conserve energy for immune function. 3. Disrupted sleep patterns. Even if you're sleeping the same number of hours, the quality of that sleep may change. You might wake more frequently, feel unrested in the morning, or notice unusual dreams. Emerging research suggests that immune activation can influence circadian rhythms and sleep architecture, sometimes before any other symptoms appear. 4. Mild, diffuse body discomfort. This isn't the sharp pain of an injury. It's more of a generalized achiness, a sensitivity in your muscles or joints that's hard to pinpoint. This discomfort may result from the same inflammatory signals that are part of your immune response. Your body isn't damaged, but it may be preparing as though it could be. 5. Cognitive or emotional shifts. Some people describe this as brain fog, difficulty concentrating, slower thinking, or a sense of mental cloudiness. Others notice subtle mood changes, mild irritability, a lower tolerance for stress, or a vague sense of unease. These experiences may be connected to how inflammatory signals affect neurotransmitter activity. They're not imaginary. They're part of the body's complex, whole-system response. It's worth noting that none of these signals are exclusive to pre-illness states. Fatigue can result from stress. Poor sleep might be caused by anxiety. Appetite changes happen for many reasons. What makes these signals potentially meaningful is when several appear together, or when they occur without an obvious external cause. Now, before we go further, let's take a moment to put this information in perspective, because understanding your body shouldn't mean worrying about every small sensation. Feeling tired one afternoon does not mean you're getting sick. Having a restless night doesn't indicate illness is imminent. The human body experiences countless fluctuations every day, most of them entirely normal and benign. The goal here is not to encourage hypervigilance or self-diagnosis. It's simply to recognize that your body has its own language, a language that sometimes whispers before it speaks clearly. And there's value in listening without overreacting. It's also important to remember that these early signals don't guarantee you'll become sick. Sometimes your immune system handles a potential threat before it ever develops into full symptoms. That afternoon, fatigue may be your body successfully resolving something you'll never even know about. If you experience persistent, worsening, or concerning symptoms, consulting a healthcare professional is always appropriate. This information is meant to foster awareness, not to replace medical guidance. So what might we do with this understanding? Not in a prescriptive sense, but as a gentle reflection on how we live. Many people, when they sense these subtle shifts, push through. They ignore the fatigue, override the appetite changes, and suppress the discomfort with willpower or caffeine. And sometimes that's necessary. Life has demands. But when possible, these signals may be an invitation to rest a little more, to hydrate, to reduce unnecessary stress, to give your body the conditions it may need to do its work effectively. This doesn't mean canceling your life at the first sign of tiredness, but it might mean choosing an earlier bedtime, saying no to one optional commitment, eating something nourishing instead of convenient. Small adjustments that acknowledge what your body might be telling you. Some people find it helpful to develop a basic awareness of their personal patterns. Over time, you may notice that certain signals, for you specifically, tend to precede feeling unwell. This kind of self-knowledge isn't about anxiety. It's about familiarity with your own body's rhythms. And perhaps most importantly, these moments of subtle awareness can be an opportunity to appreciate just how much is happening inside you. How tirelessly your body works to maintain balance, often without any conscious effort on your part. We live in an age where health is often measured in data. Heart rates, step counts, sleep scores. And while these tools have their place, there's something to be said for the quieter, more personal practice of simply paying attention. Your body is constantly communicating, not in words, but in sensations, in subtle shifts of energy, mood, and comfort. These signals aren't always clear. They don't come with explanations or certainties, but they are real, and they are worth noticing. This isn't about fear. It's not about becoming preoccupied with every ache or moment of fatigue. It's about cultivating a kind of quiet respect for the body you live in, a recognition that it's working for you in ways you may never fully see. The next time you feel something you can't quite explain, a heaviness, a restlessness, a vague sense of being off, perhaps take a moment, not to worry, but to listen, because your body speaks its own language. And sometimes it speaks early. Thank you for watching. If you found this exploration valuable, Consider subscribing to Inside the Human Body for more thoughtful journeys into the science of who we are.